Hey, and welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Journey Beyond podcast. Today, it's going to be a really smooth one, because today we're going to take a little deep dive into the world of discovering the different layers of truly being you. And to start this episode off, I want to start with a quote that I recently read and that really stuck with me. And I will talk about it later. I will go into depth with it later. But for now, just bear witness to it and take it as it is. I am not what I think I am. And I'm not what you think I am. I am what I think you think I am. With these words that might sound quite confusing at first, I want to dive into today's episode, which I want to take a little philosophical twist to it because, understanding after, our beautiful conversation with Jordan on our last episode, we talked about, the inner polarities, the polarities of the inner landscape, what the different archetypes are and how, they affected Jordan and on his journey, in his growth, and how he helps men, rediscovering themselves truly. And I think this is truly a very personal topic as well for me, because it has been something that I've been truly working on over, the last decade or so, since I got into the world of personal development and I started reading books. I started becoming interested in life. I started becoming interested in topics such as philosophy, psychology, sociology, why things are the way they are, how, what our essence and our purpose is here in life, what life itself is, right? And it kind of led me, diving deeper into each of these different topics. It always led me to the same point, right? It always led me to certain philosophical principles or hermetic realizations that I would love to share with you, actually. Because understanding the polarities of the world is understanding the essence of who you truly are, of what your soul is made of, what the entire universe is made of, what, our entire existence and reality is based upon. And it's all based upon one single experience. It is based upon the experience that your soul chose to have and through go on this journey, in this lifetime, in this body and in this corpse that it decided to live in for the amount of time that it has been given or it decided to take, out of this busy existence. Because if you break it down and if you look at the world as it is right now, you will find polarity in everything. For example, if you look at the different elements, if we look at it from a microscopic level, you have protons and neutrons, you have electrons, right? You have the polar points of the plus and the minus that always attract each other but repel both opposing poles. And if you now look at the grander scale, you will look at our world and you will look at, for example, the sun. The sun being one pole of the world, being the radiating light, the power, being identified with, heat, life, dominance, with a certain level of leadership, because wherever the sun goes, it paves a way, it makes a way. It's the light and the darkness, right? It's like one entirely polar side, which is oftentimes attached to the element of fire. Logically speaking, the sun, some might believe, most might believe it's made out of fire, one big fireball that lights the way and that gives life in our universe, in our galaxy. And without the sun, without this presence, without this, heat, there would be no life. It would be freezing cold, and no life on this planet would be possible, right? This energy, this fire energy, this, leading, this dominant energy is oftentimes recognized as the masculine energy or the masculine vibration of this world. And on the counterpart, we have the moon. What does the moon stand for? It stands for the darkness. It stands for the nighttime. It stands for, the softness, the tenderness. It stands for when people are sleeping. At the same time, it stands for humid and, that caring, embracing. When you listen and when you hear about the moon in the ancient times, it was always associated with love poems, with softness, with that divine, beautiful goddess of the moon. And the moon controlling the water on this planet, being the feminine side. And each and every single one of us has those both polar poles inside of each other, inside of us. On one hand side, these polar opposites need to exist in order for life to be able to exist in itself, right? Creation only happens in this world when the female and the male ravage each other, bond each other, love each other, and create a new life. And the same thing goes within you, right? On a higher level, being the male and the female aspect of creation. But on the other hand side, as well, the idea of you having certain traits, certain energetical frequencies, certain vibratory fields that you are holding based upon the way that you have been raised, based upon, upbringing, based upon, maybe the caring love of a mother being more present in your life than, the dominant, leading son of a dad, right? And all of these little factors play a big role in who you are. But at the essence, you are both. Looking at the feminine and the masculine within you, inside of you, I think there's always a lot of confusion where people think both need to be exclusive of the other. Like if you're a masculine guy, if you're a man, you need to be that masculine, only purely masculine. You should have no weak sides. You should not be soft. You should not be tender and, caring and embracing. You should be purely masculine. If the masculine goes too much into his masculinity and doesn't respect the feminine touch or the feminine energy within it, it becomes toxic. Same as if there's too much softness, too much tenderness, caring, embracing. If there's too much water around, it feels like you're drowning. It feels like you're drowning, and too much of the other is making you, not fully have the strong foundation that you maybe need in order to understand yourself. Because in pure harmony, our universe and our planet and our existence has been, on this planet now for nearly 5 billion years. And who knows for how long, this entire complex structure has been working in perfect harmony and perfect balance with each other. So if we look at the worlds, if we look at the outside, there's a big chance that you might see a big reflection, or you might see a part of you that is reflecting into the outside. So now taking into consideration that, these polar energies are existing around you, you need to understand that both exist simultaneously within you, and both hold the power to bring you truly to yourself. But like I said, due to your upbringing, due to your circumstances, due to, maybe some traumas that you've experienced, some childhood burdens, maybe a father not being there, maybe a parent dying really early. This leaves wounds inside of us, inside of the innocent soul that we are. We are lacking one part of the energy, or we are closing down to one part or one side of that feminine and masculine energy within us. Why? Because connecting to it might hurt a lot, and we don't want to be hurt. So we prefer closing down to it and only focusing on the side that is there for us, that has been caring for us, that has been loving us, that has not left us, that has not treated us badly, right? And all of these things, you might like think right now, wow, okay, I do have like a couple of scenarios in my life that happened where, okay, this might actually make sense why I am the way that I am. Well, this is the entire game. This is the entire game that we're playing. It is the way that we have been conditioned, the way that we have been raised, and our entire surrounding is the base from which we, at a certain level and a certain age of adulthood, need to step up and realize that I am not what I think I am, because I am what I think I am due to my circumstances. I come to the realization that, I am uniquely me, and I, maybe not love myself directly yet. Maybe I have some problems with myself, but I'm realizing that, all of the outside or the external criticism does not mean anything to me, because it shouldn't affect me personally. So I am not what I think I am, and I am not what you think I am. Once you get to the realization that detaching yourself, everyone is running their own game. Everyone is running and playing their own game. And those people who have spent too much time in your game, they lack the importance, or they didn't understand the importance of their own life. Because if you spend too much time in someone else's garden, your garden eventually will, it will go bad. Flowers will rotten, the plants will rotten, the butterflies will leave your garden and they will go wherever else they need to go, and you will not understand why. So I will get into that part with, a reference to my life in a little bit, but I just want to bring to the end this this beautiful quote. So once we get to the realization that I am not what I think I am, because my thinking is flawed, it is programmed in a certain way, and I need to forget and deprogram myself to truly understand who I am, then I'm realizing that if it's not about me, if it's not about them, that I'm not what you think I am. We get to understand that I am what I think you think I am. And what this ultimately comes down to is that we are living in this perception of a perception of ourselves. So hence my identity is pretty much being based upon what, my friends and family think that I am. Because a lot of times, as we are being grown up, we don't know what we don't know. And, as we grow up, with our parents and our surrounding, our school system, our education system, people have expectations of us, and we do not know what we don't know. We don't know what we truly want in life. So we pretty much live based upon the perception that other people, e.g. your parents or your caretakers, have of your life, what they imagine your life to be. And you simply, by not knowing that you are not what they think you are, you're just accepting this reality for yourself until you come to the point where you get to understand, I don't feel like I match with what I'm doing. Like, life is not about the 2, 3, 4 career paths that are out there. Life is so much more. And I've had that realization. When I graduated from high school, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted for my life. I felt completely lost. My parent or my mom told me that I should go study. But to be honest with you, I had no idea where I could fit in my skills into a study. I had no desire or no drive of studying anything because it just didn't feel right to me. It just didn't feel like the path that I wanted to take. And it was so hard over the years following after that to kind of let go of that perception that, what other people had about me. Until, I was very deep into my personal development journey, and I stumbled upon this quote from Les Brown, where he said that never let another person's opinion of you become your reality. You are God's greatest gift, or the universe's greatest gift of creation, and you can decide every single day what you want to do and who you want to be. It makes sense that you are who you think you are because of the surrounding and circumstances that you have been brought up to. And we understand now that, what other people think about us, especially if these people are very dear to us and we care about them and we love them, that should not be who we should think that we are or who we are. So what this entire discovering the layers of truly being you means is that we getting to the understanding, of what we talked about, what this quote means, what the polarities within you mean and what they stand for, and that you are more than just this simple imprint in society's network, right? You are so vast and so complex, and you have these masculine sides of you that you need to discover in order to truly find out who you are, and you have to reconnect to that feminine side of you. For myself, I realized that I was raised by a single mom. I discovered that I could connect really, really well with, female, like with women, and I had a very hard time connecting with men. Why? Because there was just this deep-rooted trauma inside of me that didn't really allow me to truly experience and to truly feel the presence of the masculine within my life, right? So I repelled that part of me for a very, very long time until I was actually 24, until I was at the point where, through the right coach, the right circumstances, I was sick and tired of being what other people thought about me, of being what I thought about me, right? I wanted to truly embrace who I am and take this masculinity in. So I reconnected with my dad. I healed this father wound, which helped me to find the radiating light within me, the power and the heat, the life, the dominance, and the leadership qualities that have always been part of my nature. And at the same time, with giving into the masculine, it helped me to reconnect and strengthen my bond with my inner feminine side. With my darkness, that is actually the most beautiful part about me that I've realized over the last 3 years, that, within that darkness that I discovered for myself lies a world of things that I haven't been aware of myself. Certain anxious and avoidant personality traits in certain situations, insecurities, lack of self-love, right? Like through digging deeper and reconnecting with that feminine essence of me, with the emotional side of me, and asking questions, being there, being relaxed in the presence of it, helped me unlock, new layers of who I truly am. And all of this helped me to see my path clear, because I know now what I want. I know now who I am, or at least I have a pretty good idea of who I am, because I choose the difficult road and I choose the growth. So I decide not to live in this echo chamber anymore, and I decide that I want to create my own destiny. I want to create the life that I now want to have, like honoring my gifts, honoring my voice, creating businesses, creating an incredible podcast that goes all over the world, being able to coach and to help and to mentor people from all around the world, being able to create a community, a group, a tribe of like-minded individuals that will change the world together, that will help, raise awareness, consciousness, and, just radiate healing light and power out there. Like, that's what I truly want. So I decide to embrace my masculine. I decide to embrace my feminine. And I decide to break free from the echo chamber that made me live in the perception of I am what I think you think I am. So, finding a close to this episode, what did I want to achieve with it? Pretty simple. I wanted to bring a little bit of awareness towards the topic of the polarities of the feminine, the masculine within us, because in our future solo episodes, we will dive a little bit deeper into that, because I think this is where like the biggest part of my growth came when I discovered, these polarities within me, and how men and women can benefit from that, because it made me truly a man. It turned me into the person that I am today, the confident, self-loving, radiating power ball that I am. And I think it's beautiful to share, because I believe that it has not only been through discoverance of, your polarities, there has been some groundwork. There has been some discipline, some personal development, some books, some spiritual retreats and experiences that I went through that's, opened deeper realms to me. But all of this is what I want to share. And all of this is why I did this podcast, because I believe, it's very hard having solo episodes because I'm just sitting here in this room and I'm talking to myself pretty much, imagining someone out listening, because it makes it a little bit less weird. But in these solo episodes, it's just, I feel like I want to share piece, like a little piece of myself over and over again, and maybe with this help other people out there to unlock certain parts of themselves, to have an aha moment where they realize, oh wait, I've been through this. Oh wait, I've had this situation. Okay, interesting, right? This is everything that it is all about. And if you enjoy the journey that we are on so far, if you enjoy the 12 episodes that we have spent together on, the hours and hours and countless hours of, interviews and just me blabbling along and, trying to convey a message. If all of this resonates with you, I would love to hear your feedback. I would love to see your support and appreciation, because it means the world to me. This is my purpose and this is my life mission. So I know I will never stop this, but, just knowing that people out there appreciate it and like and, support the message that I'm trying to bring out really, really helps. So if this is you, and if this is, like I said, if this resonates with you, make sure to, leave a review here on Spotify. So, Spotify knows that this is a pretty dope podcast and it will push it out to more people out there. And, be excited for the next episode, because it's going to again be a interview episode with a really, really, really special guest, someone that I have a great past with, and that I enjoy vibing with on a podcast. And there's many, many more to come. I've been scheduling out now the next 5 to 6 weeks. Every single weekend I have podcast recordings, so there's going to be great content awaiting you. So with this being said, I don't want to take too much of your time. It's been again 22 minutes. I wish you all a beautiful rest of your evening, your day, your morning, whenever you're tuning into this. And with this being said, much love, and see you in the next one.